What is going on, NC946? Thanks for tuning in to another great learning opportunity. Today we're diving deeper into the uniform. We're going to learn why the uniform is necessary, why its impact is harder than concrete, why uniforms have dominated history, and why it makes a cadet elite. Ready, set, learn. So who's into movies? Most students are. Many students have access to Netflix, or they know someone who has it. Other students, when it was possible, saw movies the old-fashioned way, by getting with a group of friends, heading to the movie theater, getting popcorn, and watching it firsthand. Of course, those days of headed to the movies are on the rocks. But when you saw a movie, especially those movies in which battles took place, did you notice something? Think of Star Wars or Star Trek, even Roman soldiers from the ancient times. What did you notice in those movies about their clothing attire for their military or their leadership? If you're into World War movies or even video games that mimic the Vietnam or World War II or even the Gulf War, what is the common theme among characters? They all had uniforms. For example, for those that have seen Star Wars, even the troops surrounding Lord Vader, oh by the way, Lord Vader, the #1 movie villain in history, even his troops had uniforms. Yes, what the stormtroopers wore were uniforms. As for the rebels, you can see they scrounged up whatever they could. And even the rebel pilots that flew the X-Wing fighters had on orange uniforms. The common theme is what? Uniforms. Just like in Star Wars, people wear uniforms to show they belong to an organization. In our world today, when we see someone in uniform, we identify that person with an organization and its reason for being, its mission. Firefighter, police officer, nurse, doctor. When we see a soldier in uniform, we know they represent the Army. When we see a sailor in uniform, we know they represent the Navy. And of course, when we see an airman in uniform, we know it's all about the mighty Air Force. Every organization has standards that we expect from people in uniform. As a cadet, your uniform represents standards and values that have evolved over many centuries. Now, if you're not into Star Wars, but instead you like Star Trek, take a look at their leadership. Every time you see them in the ship's deck, or even on different planets in the middle of their mission, what are they wearing? You guessed it. Not only that, it's clean and impressive because they are always communicating with different people or life forms. Junior ROTC is no different. Cadets will often be in the public eye when participating in parades, drill competitions, assisting at American Legions, or even when presenting the colors at sporting events. The key for every cadet is to display neatness, cleanliness, safety, and a military image. Now that's easy. Now, we want to be dignified and pleased when you wear the uniform, but there are some do's and don'ts. What I mean by this is, there are ways you can wear the uniform and there are ways you absolutely cannot wear the uniform. To have a better understanding, let's begin with what not to do. Number 1, military members are barred from engaging in political activity while wearing the uniform. What does this mean? It means you cannot attend rallies and political speeches or pass out flyers while in uniform. This is a federal law. Federal laws are bigger and carry more weight than state laws. Number 2, military members are prohibited from publicly supporting a candidate while in uniform. What does that mean? It means you cannot publicly support a particular candidate, party, or political issue while wearing the uniform. Do what you want in civilian clothes, but you can't do it in uniform. Number 3, many of you are critical about how you look when you come to school. You're concerned about what you wear, how you wear it, where it came from, and not only what you think about your clothes, but sometimes what others think. The military uniform is no different, except its importance and image impacts not just your circle of friends. The junior ROTC uniforms need to represent a great image to the entire community and beyond. Number 4, even in election season, It is a time to vote. You must know that a vote is more valuable than money. Seriously. Think of your vote as having a greater value than a $100 bill. Spend it wisely. Yet, federal law forbids those in military uniform from participating in public demonstrations, again, while in uniform. The bottom line is this. Right now in our nation's history, there's a great amount of turmoil, protesting, election issues, and political unrest. The simple fact is, you can take part in these events if your parents or guardians allow it, but you absolutely cannot wear the uniform if you are in or at any of these types of events. Federal law prohibits you from doing so while in uniform. Why? Wearing of the uniform might imply that the military service supports a particular cause. Again, per federal law, this cannot be the case. Now, this may sound like a lot of don'ts when it comes to wearing uniform. Well, you're right. Unfortunately, some have even taken uniform to lower levels and made an embarrassment of themselves, the unit, and the service they represent. To ensure such bad things don't happen again, here are a few things that you must not do. Number 1, do not mix and match the uniform with other clothing items. That's a no-no. Number 2, don't lend your uniform to anyone else to wear that is not in junior ROTC. Number 3, don't let underwear and other articles be seen. Absolutely no sagging. Number 4, do not wear earbuds or headphones, and don't carry mobile phones while you're in uniform. Everything I just mentioned are violations and have caused issues within units. Don't be that cadet that ruins it for everyone. You got this. On the flip side, when you put on the uniform, wear it so that it makes your mama, papa, or uncle, grandpa smile. Always wear it on the established weekly uniform day, and also wear it when your instructors specify. For example, there may be an upcoming assembly and the armed drill team is planning on wowing the crowd with rifle spins and precision moves. Also, if you ever get the opportunity to ride in a military aircraft, you must wear the uniform then. Yes, this is possible. At my last junior ROTC unit, I requested and was given permission for about 8 of my cadets to receive a flight on a KC-135 aircraft stationed at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, North Carolina. Every cadet had on their uniform, but the biggest thing seen, besides the plane, was the smiles of the cadets after they landed. One of the cadets even told me that no other field trip in all of his school career could ever top the flight on the KC-135. Cadets that make it to big field trips like the one I just mentioned probably did a lot of the do's that I'm about to mention. Here are the do's. Number 1, wear a clean uniform. Number 2, keep your shoes shiny and polished. Number 3, wear the appropriate shoes, meaning don't wear service dress blues and nice shoes when you're about to partake in Raider team events. Number 4, make sure your badges, rank, insignias, belt buckle, and all other metallic items are clean and shiny. Number 5, and of course, for all your ribbons, keep track of them and wear them clean. You earned them. Whether on the color guard, drill team, multi-copter team, cyber team, or even the drill competition team, wear the uniform with pride while being humble at the same time. Okay everyone, that about wraps it up for this video. Overall, you've learned uniforms have been around for a long time. Whether on military members, on first responders, or even in the movies, uniforms set groups apart to a level of distinction. It's that level of distinction that you will get to. I can assure you that the feeling and respect that you will get from the community and your family will be epic. I'm out. Thanks for learning with me, and we'll see you next time in the next episode.